I'd say booming is my business, and business is booming. Hello, I'm David from the Earl of Manchesters, and I'm a purveyor of fine powder. Before we can go to battle, the most important thing we need to have is great stores of great powder. The powder that we use and what have you makes the cannons go bang and muskets go bang, etc. And in the Civil War, at the outset, the most important thing was to take hold of all stores of powder that were available. The Tower of London was one great target for the armies and what have you. If you could control the powder, you had a distinct advantage. But as the war went on, any powder that we already had would deplete very quickly. And so it was really important that we had an industry, an industrial scale solution, if you like, for the supply of powder. The making of powder itself is a relatively simple process. It uses three main ingredients. It uses saltpeter, it uses light charcoal, and it uses brimstone or sulfur. If you know your triangle of fire, you know that you need fuel, you need oxygen, and you need a point of ignition. Basically, these two components, the charcoal and the sulfur, are your fuel. The sulfur is necessary to reduce the point of ignition. You need an accelerant because you need a lot of oxygen, because if you lit these two, they would burn quite happily, but they're just drawing in the oxygen around you and they'd burn relatively slowly. But for an explosive power, you need a lot of oxygen very quickly, so you would need that. That's the saltpeter. Basically, 75% saltpeter, 15% charcoal, 10% sulfur. Put it into an industrial scale pestle and mortar, grind it down to a very fine powder. At that sense, it's very highly sensitive and what have you, but the problem is with that, if I try to pour that into a musket, it's going to be far too fine. The wind will blow it, we'll get a cloud of musket dust, powder dust, and if anyone stood there with a match or something, we'll all blow ourselves up. So necessary then, what they would do is, with that fine powder, they'd introduce water and a little bit of alcohol, turn it into a cake. When that cake's dry, they'd corn it, or basically put it through a sieve. And what you're looking for is like a granular texture that actually runs quite freely without blowing everywhere and what have you. So it's much more controllable as a substance like that.